Good morning, everybody. So, man, it has been a minute, and I've been super busy, and I feel like my channel has slipped through the cracks here. So I want to catch everyone up on what's been going on in my life lately. And got this new phone mount on my windshield, so I get hands-free here, and in the spirit, here I am again at my favorite boat launch. Just dropped my kid off at school, and I wanted to come out here and do this video and kind of stare out. The weather's a lot nicer than it has been. It's in the mid 50s, so it's good to be out here. But what I'd like to catch you all up on is like three things: the ribbon cutting ceremony, the interview with Jan Canty, and my new journey in working out at the gym, and how eye-opening it is of how unhealthy I am and out of shape I am. But so the ribbon cutting, if you're watching this in real time, was last week. It was last Tuesday the 8th, and it went really well. It was so much fun, but it was also very nerve-wracking and intense. I wanted to roll video on it, but I forgot to give my daughter my phone. I let her come to the ribbon cutting. I pulled her out of school. She wanted to be there. So I wanted to give her my phone so she can roll film on my presentation. You know, part of the deal is you get to present and kind of talk about your story and your business to the people that show up, which is often, you know, there's chamber members that try to go to every one, and there were 3 aldermen there. Some local city aldermen showed up, and some other people that were interested in learning more and maybe sponsoring. So I had probably an audience of 10, which was pretty neat. But the whole day leading up to it, all I could think about is how I want to present and how I want to present. And what's unique is I don't have a brick and mortar, you know, so this all happens for businesses like mine. It happens at the chamber office. So I'm like, what do I present? Like, how do I make this tangible? So what I did is in the conference room where I was going to talk to everybody, I put up my laptop and my iPad, and the laptop had my business website up, Shelby Road Productions, and the iPad had the podcast, the Real Hernando podcast, since it was also the official launch of the podcast as well, by design. That's why I timed it out that way. And it was nice. And then in front of each computer, I had business cards, SRP business cards, Real Hernando business cards in front. So I felt like that was the best I could do as far as presenting. If people wanted to scroll through and look at the websites, they could. And then I stood next to the computers as I presented, so while I'm presenting they could see the visuals of what I was talking about. I thought it went well. Much like my videos here, I didn't write anything. I didn't give myself an outline. I knew what I wanted to talk about. I knew where I wanted to go with the story, and I just went up there and was genuine, and it went well. So some good feedback on that. Leading up to the ribbon cutting, for the 2 weeks leading up to it, when we did our little pre-launch on the podcast, I ended up being in the newspaper, as you've all seen, as I posted in the group. I was in the local county newspaper called DeSoto Times, announcing the podcast and my business, and then the ribbon cutting. So then the Chamber of Commerce promotes that, and then we're promoting that promotion, and it was just 2 weeks of my face getting pushed out into the social media world, and it was just different for me, and so it was exciting. It was a neat little period where for the first time I feel like I really had a nice, like, promotional announcements for business, and really was a neat way to announce that I'm here and I want to work locally now too. But I'm also glad it's all over with. Now it's time to get to work and just get back to the grind, which is where I would like to be. So if you don't follow podcast page, go to the Real Hernando, and you're going to start seeing interviews and clips from local businesses. And if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, the Real Hernando podcast is something I built for my local community to help small businesses by interviewing the business owners and getting their story behind their journey to become the business owner that they are now. So therealhernando.com is where you need to go. That has everything there for you. Next, Jan Canty. So again, for anyone that's out of context or anything, I started an interview series for this channel, and I think it was last week I published my second video, and I interviewed a lady by the name of Jan Canty, and the name of that video is "Surviving a Murder." So check that out, and it performed really well. Interview videos typically don't perform as well, but there's definitely an audience for it too. So her interview had a good performance, but a great engagement. And that's what I really like to look at is it was more than just great interview. That was interesting. It was, people were fascinated by her story. And to give you a little, promo on the video, if you haven't watched it yet, I think you might enjoy it because it's like a true crime story of this lady that her husband disappears. They find out that he was murdered. Then she finds out that he had a secret double life that she was not aware of, which was, that really started to make things complicated. And he was a well-known person in the community of Detroit. So it turned into like a high, a big story, a high profile story. So she was, and the story was all over the local news, but the local news is Detroit. So that totally invaded her privacy and ruined her of any privacy. So much like paparazzi, I mean, people were coming up to her in the grocery stores, neighbors were bothering her, the reporters and camera people were always at her house. They went to the funeral and kind of intruded on the funeral. So it was an awful, crazy experience. And her story continues where once the trial was over, it was that time now where she could move on from it, and the best way she could, she moved across the country to Seattle, and she didn't let go of like her relationships with her family or friends from back in Detroit, but she never spoke about it again for 30 years. And then finally started talking about it and writing a book about it and pushing it out there and trying to help other people that experience these kinds of stories and these kinds of situations. So it is a fascinating story. I encourage you to go watch it. It is longer form, so I get some people might not want to engage with it, but it's a great story. Which leads me to moving forward with interviews. As I've mentioned, it's definitely something I want to continue. I'm trying to do maybe one a month. I'm not trying to overkill it. But because I enjoyed the interview with Jan, it was definitely a fun one for me too. I just enjoyed my time with her. She was really cool. I asked her for some referrals. I mean, do you know any other people in your circles, as now you've been coaching and helping people cope through these things? Do you have any names of authors or anyone that have these kinds of stories? She gave me like 5 names of all authors, and she gave me little snapshots of their history, and there's some of them that makes her story look simple. So I might try to kind of go in that direction. People kept engaging and commenting, I love true crime, and the kind of comments her interview was getting was enough for me to be like, hey, maybe that could be kind of a sub-series of the interviews, a series on just kind of out there, insane, interesting crime stories, or just very just interesting stories in general, more than just coaching on mental health. I do have one coming up. Her name is Sue Bowles. It's not a true crime story, but she definitely has a story that I think will help a lot of people and how to cope with, some serious trauma through childhood, and how that manifested some issues with her, and now how she's on the other side of it. So more interviews to come, and don't be surprised if they start turning towards the true crime stuff, because it's interesting for me too. It's easy for me to do those interviews because I'm engaged. Now the third thing is working out. So I released a video a while back about signing up for a gym membership and getting started. And the day I posted that video, the next day I was supposed to have my first yoga session. Well, we got an ice storm, and that just threw everything out of loop, and then I just haven't done a video in a while. So what I did was, the local gym is called Club 4 Fitness, and the top tier is only $35 a month. So I'm like, this is very affordable, and what you get with that is 24/7 access, the massage chairs, the hydro massage chairs, free daycare if you have a young child, and unlimited classes. I mean, they have amazing classes every day throughout the week. Some are virtual where the instructors are on a big screen, and some are in person. So I knew going into this, because I'm so out of shape and I let myself go so bad, that I can't just go into high intensity kickboxing or circuit training, lifting weights. I can't just go start jogging. My body will fall apart. So I went into this with the plan of core, like really start from the base level and do this right, and not focus on trying to build muscle tone or lose weight. Those things will happen organically through what I'm doing now, but my focus is to just get my balance back and get some, just as my trainer, which I'll get to, calls functional training, functionality training. So I did my first yoga a little over a week ago, and it's a 60-minute yoga class, 50 minutes really, with a 10-minute cool down at the end. And my ass was swiftly kicked. I didn't realize how hard yoga is. It's more than just stretching. Okay, it's such a neat way to work your core and work every muscle in your body without gyrating and putting force on your joints, and definitely exposed my unhealthiness. I was like, wow, I can't even do a normal plank. So, but I loved it. And then I did 2 more after that. Both times left like, wow, my God, I'm out of shape, but very excited about what it's going to do for me. Yesterday was my first day with a personal trainer. So how that works is, when I got the top tier membership, what comes with that is a free consultation with a trainer. Again, when I went into this and bought into a subscription to this gym, I knew that I was going to look into that too. I wanted to do yoga, and I wanted to get a personal trainer. And one of the reasons is obviously to get healthy, right? But I benefit from having someone tell me what to do. I can't work out under my own devices. It's just not going to work. I'm not going to commit to it. I'm not going to do it right. It's just not going to happen. Way back when I was in kickboxing fitness classes, it worked because I went into a room and there was other people, and we had an instructor yelling at us, telling us what to do for 45 minutes. That's how I benefit from that, because I like learning. Tell me what to do. Okay, you're the professional here, so now I know I'm doing something and doing it the right way. And then to be pushed. And when I went to a kickboxing class, it was a 45-minute class, and never did I ever leave early. Once I got through the door, I was in. So that's why I'm taking this approach. So the yoga classes are tough. I never left the class. But I'd never in a million years would have done anything, any kind of those yoga poses or that kind of workout on my own. And then I wanted a personal trainer to really then show me how to build, as he calls it, the functional foundation or the functional strength that I'm lacking right now, in all the proper ways. But having someone to just like, all right, this is next. Okay, man, like, no ego here. Tell me what to do and I'll do it. And yesterday was the first day, and my body is jello. Or yesterday I was jello. Today I'm so sore all over though, but a good kind of sore. Like my joints don't hurt. I don't feel like I pulled anything, but it's a 30-minute session, and he just put me through all these different things that just touched every muscle in my body. So my body is like, whoa, dude. It's in shock, really, is what it is. Because 2+ years of doing nothing for myself. I was going for those walks, as you know, as my core audience knows, but even that kind of went by the wayside. Why? Because it was left up to me and my own personal motivation, which is wishy-washy. Okay, it is what it is. So I signed on to start a 3-month program that will have 2 sessions a week. In essence, I bought 24 sessions, and they don't have to be all done in 3 months. You have a year to use them all, so you can take a week off if you're going on vacation or you get sick and you need to cancel one. It's all good. I bought 24 sessions, and I think that's what it turned out to be, right? 3 months, twice, yeah. And I'm excited. So I have my second one tomorrow, and man, it's gonna be rough. And then my goal is to then do Yoga Friday. So my schedule that I have in my calendar, again, that's another thing, because they're classes, and there's a timeline. I can't just go do a yoga class anytime, any day. There's certain there's a calendar. So I've blocked them out in my calendar, which helps me even with more focus and dedication to it. So right now it's yoga Monday, Friday, personal training Tuesday, Thursday. It's lofty considering that I'm so out of shape. It's 4 things a week. I might have to shave off the Friday yoga and then maybe still do a 4th thing, but do it on Saturday to give myself a day break after my Thursday personal training, and just try to maybe go in there and hit the elliptical machine for 20 minutes to do something, with something that very less intense than all the other stuff. But that's it. I'm trying to, one of my goals this year is to get healthy, and I have put my health the bottom of the priority list for 2 years straight as I've been building my business and dealing with a lot of other personal stuff when it comes to my child and all those things. So moving onward and upward, I want to start doing more videos for y'all too. I miss doing this, but that's it. Hope you all have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Oh, it hurts to lift up.